Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's tutorial, and then we're going to be discussing intervalent connectivity. We're going to be doing this practically. Yesterday we talked about VLAN configuration. We'll have VLAN 10 and VLAN 20, and then we'll have VLAN 50, VLAN 1000 as the native VLAN. So today we're going to add a router, and then we're going to connect to configure interfaces for VLAN's interconnectivity. So we're gonna grab a router. We're gonna grab a Cisco router 2911. 2911. Gonna grab 2911, and then we're gonna grab across a straight through cable, couple of straight through cable. We're gonna get it attached to Gigabit Ethernet port 0, and we're gonna attach it to this switch, and then we're going to get it attached to Gigabit Ethernet port 2. So, and in this SSR, we're going to configure this as chunk, carrying VLANs 10, 20, and 1000. 1000 VLAN 1000 is the native VLAN. In our last SSRs, we use 1000 as the native VLAN, carry chunk between switch 0 and switch 1. So we're going to use VLAN 1000 as a native VLAN carrying sync VLAN 10, 20, and 100. So we're going to configure G00 on the router to accommodate VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So let's get to the switch and configure chunk on this interface. So let's say enable, which gets us to pivot exec mode, and configuration terminal. Config T gets us to global config mode, and then we're going to interface G00, the rectifier G00, yeah, G0, no, this one is G02, G02, switch port mode, jump, switch port, jump, native VLANs 1000, native VLAN 1000, switch port, jump, allowed VLANs 10, 20, and 1000. So there you go. We have our chunk well configured. So let's get to the router, and then we configure our sort interfaces. So just step no, and then ENT gets you to pivot exec mode, config T, it gets you to global config mode, and then to interface G01, G0/0.10, and then we got encap is encapsulation, but for the SSI, just gonna use encap that one Q, which is 802.1Q, but you cannot tap the entire 802.1Q. You just tap that one Q, followed by the VLAN's tag, which is VLAN 10. It's tag 10. So it's 10, and then we have 0.10, which is VLAN 10. You have the original interface to be G0/0, which is G00. But for VLANs, we attach that 10, which is VLAN 10, it is VLAN 20. You type in interface G0/0.20. So, and then you go to the next command is encapsulation dot one q, which is 802.1q protocol carrying tag traffic from the various VLANs configured on our switches. And then we have the next command is IP address, and the IP address is the default gateway for the various VLANs. So the default gateway will be the first usable IP address on the subnet. So be 192.168. You are not forced to use the first usable IP. You can use the last, you can use the third, you can use the first, you can use the second, but they should be on the same network. So, but for this is I'm going to use the first usable IP address. So 10 that 1 255 that 255 that 255 that 0, which is /24. And there you go. So we're going to say interface G0/0 that 20 for VLANs 20. The cap EOT Q that 20, and then IP address. IP address is 192.68.20.1, 255.255.255.0. And there you go. After configuring sub interfaces, you have to turn on the original interface, which is G00. So you're going to say interface G0/0, no shut, which is no shutdown. But for sure, you can say one no shut. But its original is no shutdown. But for short, is no shut. And you get the interface up. So automatically you have G0/0.10 is is done. It's still get changed to up. It changes up. So we do show API interface brief, and then there you go. We have this up and up, and everything is ready to go. So so in our last exercise, we couldn't pin from VLAN 10 to VLAN 20 because we didn't have default gateway configured. Also, interfaces configured on the router. Router serve as the default gateway, which is the gateway to another network. Like you have two terms, and you have a period where you need to get a bridge to serve as the gateway between both terms. So you're going to get the bridge. You're going to use the bridge to get to the next time. People from the next time going to get to the next time. So a router serves as the gateway to the network, to networks, different networks. And so we're gonna test it from VLAN 10. We're gonna pin a device from VLAN 20. So we are in VLAN 10. The PC is in VLAN 10. We're gonna pin 192.168.20.10. Also get 20.10. Let's see. So the pin field. I'll try one more. And then we're going to check. We're going to try to see our joint interface to show interface joint. And let's see, we get it joint well configured. Yeah, it's well configured. Yeah, so see to interface. Okay, sorry, we have to get this on. We need to put in this default gateway for Vlan. 10 is 192.168.10.1, and then we need this two, and then we have the default gateway for Vlan 20 as 192.168.20, 20.1, 20.1, 20.1, and there you go. And you'll get Vlan 20 here too. Gotta get a default gateway. Yeah, it's 192.168.20.1, and we'll have here too. Default gateway here is 192.168.10.1. Oh man, 192.168.10.1. So let's get back to this device and pin. So I'm gonna pin from the 10 network to the 20 network. So now there you go. Firstly, we didn't put in the default gateway because in our last exercise we never need a default gateway because we were not getting across, to another network. We have PC in the same network responding, pinning each other, and then we have the device in 10 network pinning each other, have the devices in the 20 network pinning each other. So to be able to get from one network to another, you need to have default gateway and the router set as the default gateway. So we configure swap interfaces on the default gateway for Vlan connectivity. So thank you. And our next exercise is going to be about TCP configuration on the router. We're going to configure one on on the server, and then we're going to put in our helper IP address, and then we're going to use one for the default for the router. Router going to allocate IP addresses to the PC automatically using DHCP, and then we're going to configure one server 2 to also allocate